In today's video, I'm going to be showing the team that I ran for the entirety of this season, which is Dragonite, Mewtwo, and Rhyperior, with Mewtwo as the save swap. Also, I have a new format. Tell me in the comments if you like it or not. So, when we go into the first battle, my opponent, Shogun of Harlem 9, leads with a Mewtwo. So Dragonite actually wins this matchup, and unless it's in the zero shield, and when it's in the zero shield and they don't shield, usually I time a Psytrike to my Mewtwo, so I don't have to shield on my Dragonite. However, this opponent decides to shield their Mewtwo, but I'm still going to do this sack swap anyways because I don't really want to expend a shield. Although Rhyperior can beat steals, it does need at least one shield. So they come into a Zekrom, and I'm able to get to a Focus Blast just as a Hail Mary. Hope they don't shield, and wow, it lands. That does so much damage. It's absolutely crazy. So now that it actually landed, I can shield and farm down and win switch advantage. Then they come in with a Heatran. Wow, this is perfect. So Heatran is a fire and steel type, which means it has a double weakness to Rhyperior. So I immediately switch out into Rhyperior, and they can't really do anything. And I do shield this move because Iron Head would be super effective. But it's just a Stone Edge. And, yeah, well, Heatran gets lawn mowed by ground types. Anyways, I go for the Surf on my Rhyperior. The Mewtwo does shield. And then I shield the first Psystrike, and the second Psystrike comes through, and I can just farm down the Mewtwo with Mud Slap. So Rhyperior and Dragonite are a bit tankier than Mewtwo to kind of balance out the team, because if it was all not so tanky Pokemon, then all of them would need shields. Okay, bad lead, Melmetal. So immediately I switch into Mewtwo because I have Focus Blast on it, and I did quite a lot of big investments. I maxed out the Rhyperior, gave 2 moves on Mewtwo, and that's no small potatoes because it's like 100k, and I think that's the biggest investment I've done. Anyways, they go for a Rock Slide on my Mewtwo, and brings my Mewtwo to half health. However, they gave me an energy advantage, so now when they counter switch to the Giratina Origin, they have to spend a shield if they want to gain switch advantage. So now I have shield advantage, and I'm going to bring in my Dragonite. And looking back at this, I might have wanted to shield this Shadow Ball, but I decided not to shield at all and just save the shields for my Rhyperior because I knew they had a Melmetal. So I farmed down the Giratina Origin, and they have a Dialga. So I immediately swap into my Rhyperior, and they swap into their Melmetal. They're running double steals, which is pretty weak to a ground type like Excadrill or Rhyperior. And so this is pretty good for my Rhyperior because I can just shield this, but they bait with Rock Slide for reasons unknown because they just get farmed down anyways. And then when the Dialga comes in, I have a shield so they can't get denied 2 Iron Heads in time before they get knocked out by Rhyperior. Good game. So, into the third one versus Snow092300. They lead with another Melmetal. So these are pretty common, and I've seen a lot of Melmetal and Mewtwo leads. And they swap into a Toge-kiss. Now, from my experience, a lot of my opponents like to double shield their Toge-kiss and completely farm down. So they shield the first one, and I build up to another 2. And does this opponent double shield as well? No, they actually don't double shield. So I'm going to go for the third one actually. And oh, they do. They expend all their shields on the Toge-kiss. And I can't come in with my Dragonite, obviously. So I'm going to come in with my Rhyperior. And Most Toge-kisses run Flamethrower and Ancient Power, so that's really just what I'm going to expect. It's an Ancient Power, they do not get the boost, one Charm, and they go out. And they're bringing their Melmetal. Not quite the best play by them. Maybe they wanted to expend my shields with their superpowers on the Melmetal, because fighting does beat rock, so I have to watch out for that. Now that their attack is lowered, it doesn't really do that much. Just to see what's in the back, I swap into my Dragonite, and this might be contradictive thinking, but the Melmetal has been debuffed, so the Rock Slide doesn't do that much. So the Giratina Origin in the back comes out. And Rhyperior does beat Giratina Origin and Melmetal, but Giratina Origin does have a better matchup against Rhyperior than Dragonite. So maybe the better play would be to bring in your Giratina Origin into the Rhyperior. So I'm gonna farm down this Giratina Origin with Mud Slap, get loaded on energy, shield the Ominous Wind, and then I'm gonna go for back-to-back Surfs on this Melmetal. It does neutral damage, but it lacks stab, so it doesn't do too much. And I go for the second one, and they're not able to get to a superpower, and that is a good game. GG. So, in this match, my opponent, Peter Huang 273, leads with another Mewtwo. So this Mewtwo, and in the Mewtwo matchup versus Dragonite, you want to just not shield at all, because in the zero shield, Mewtwo wins since it outpaces Dragonite to Psytrike. So I go for the Dragon Claw, and they do shield, and then I time a switch into my Mewtwo to catch the Psytrike, and just like the previous battle, they switch into a Zekrom. However, this time I don't reach the Focus Blast in time, and they reach their move first. So they go for Wild Charge, actually. Maybe the better move would have been Crunch, and so I go for the Focus Blast, and I get rid of shields, and I have shield advantage, which is pretty much as good as switch advantage. So now I come in with my Rhyperior, and I can just pretty much farm down. I don't shield this Crunch, and I'm saving my shields for whatever's in the back. The Mewtwo comes back in again, and I immediately swap into my Dragonite. I'm able to get to the Dragon Claw. Actually, no. The Mewtwo CMP ties with me, and I do shield. Looking back at this, I may have wanted to save my shield for Rhyperior, just in case. But it really just mattered what's in the back. If it's a Kyogre, then it's over, but it's actually a Dragonite. So now my Rhyperior can unload this Stone Edge on the Dragonite. 100 damage, super effective, and it knocks out the Dragonite. GG. So, in this match, my opponent, Fuzi on 20, leads with another Dragonite. So in the Dragonite mirror, it really depends if it's best buddy or not. And I have the fortune to have an SSS Dragonite, so I do win the CMP. And they don't shield, so I'm gonna match and not shield too. Now this Dragonite was actually a lower CP, so I do win the matchup. So out comes a Melmetal, and maybe I should have swapped into my Mewtwo to not get farmed down, but now I can swap into my hard counter Rhyperior and start Mud Slapping. So they bait me with a Rock Slide here, so that's pretty bad. And I don't really want to expend both shields on my Rhyperior, so I'm not going to shield here. And it is the superpower, and it does deal a lot of damage. But now that their defenses have been lowered, I go for the Surf here. And they don't shield. And their last Pokemon is a Metagross. So Metagross is one of the tougher opponents for this team, because it pretty much beats my entire team. Focus Blast on Mewtwo does almost one-hit KO, but the thing is, it doesn't. And I don't have Shadow Ball, I have Focus Blast. So I act as if I have Shadow Ball here, and I go for the Psystrike bait. They do shield. Now, important thing to note is that they actually ran Psychic, so they don't have the Elite TM'd Meteor Mash Metagross. So Psychic resists Psychic, and I'm able to get to the Focus Blast and take out the Metagross. Very well played, and GG. So, and this match, my opponent, Tise Quinto, leads with a Palkia. So, Dragonite into Palkia. You want to be running in Dragon Breath on both Pokemon, not Dragon Tail. And this Palkia is actually running Dragon Tail. Dragon Tail, I'm pretty sure does the same amount of energy, but less damage. So you really want to run Dragon Breath. However, I have access to Dragon Claw, and Palkia has access to Aqua Tail. So I win the matchup, and they don't shield. So they come in with the Toge-kiss, and I swap into my Mewtwo because both Mewtwo and Rhyperior can beat Toge-kiss, and they bring in a Metagross. Well, I do bait them with Psystrike, so I'm gonna go for this Focus Blast here. And they may double shield, but I don't think I will, and they do not. Now the problem is Focus Blast does not KO, as I shown. And maybe if my Mewtwo was Best Buddy 4,200 CP instead of 4,011, maybe it would have KO'd, but that's another 100k Stardust that I'm not willing to spend. So they bring in the Toge-kiss. I do have shield disadvantage, but I have 2 Pokemon, and they only have 1 Pokemon, and that's the Toge-kiss. But they do have a shield. So it all really comes down if they shield this Surf, and if they do, that seals the match. Wow. So I landed the bait, and now I can go for the Stone Edge here. And with 1 HP and a Dream, I'm able to get to the Stone Edge and take out the Toge-kiss. Very well played by my opponent, and that was really quite close. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you again in Great League, and actually the Halloween Cup I'm pretty sure starts tomorrow. So I'll see you next week. Peace!